Oh man, I freaking love this build. Good night, Andariel. God, I love it. Anyways, how's it going, everybody? This is the Chick coming at you with another Diablo 4 build guide. It's been a while, but I decided I was going to have a little fun and show you guys a little bit of what I've been doing. So, today we're going to be talking about something that I was a little bit hesitant to play. I wasn't the biggest fan of the idea of playing the Evade Spiritborn, and then I tried it, and now, yeah, I kind of quit playing it. Cannot. Anyway, so first things first, we'll start out with the skills. Then we will do the gear, and then we will go into the paragons and all of that. Anyway, start out getting your thunder spikes, enhanced thunder spike, accelerated thunder spike. It's going to do some vulnerable. This is going to be what's auto casting when you evade. It's going to give you a couple of bonuses, going to give you some vigor and everything. We only need one level in here because that's not what's doing all of our damage, but it is going to be helping us out. Then you're going to put 1 point into vigorous. It's going to make your core skills cost more, but that's not what we're doing it for. We're going to put 2 points over into velocity. This is going to get us down to the next skill tree part, as well as give us some vigor per second, which we'll talk about why that matters in a minute. TLDR version is because we're using the rune that uses all of our resource to give us damage, and that gives it back to us. We're using Vortex. Vortex pulls in everything, does a little bit of damage, gives you increased damage for your next skill, gives you some extra damage when your barrier is up, and you're going to have a barrier up all the time with this. Then you are going to put 1 point into focal point. 3 points into apex, more damage to vulnerable enemies. 3 points in diminishment, they deal less damage to you when they're vulnerable. So these are two big, huge things because when we're evading and we're using our basic skill up here, Thunder Spike, it's going to be making everything vulnerable. So that's going to be up all the time. And we're going to put 2 points into Mirage, going to give us some dodge chance during evades, going to give us some increased critical strike chance after we evade. Super helpful all the way around. You're going to put 3 points over into Unrestrained Power, increase damage when unhindered or unstoppable. When you get your build set up, you're going to be unstoppable all the time because you are constantly going to have up one of the skills we're going to talk about in a second. Armored Hide, yep, that one. 100% uptime, it's great. Then you are going to be using Ravager. You're going to be popping this before you pop your Armored Hide because it's just going to be giving you this increased damage per enemy. It's going to be dealing extra damage or whatever. Totally lying. You're just having this on for the extra damage when you do attacks because it's going to be hitting other enemies and blowing up. Going to be extending it when you kill an enemy. You do that like mad. We wreck them non-stop, so it's up most of the rift if you're doing rifts, or if you're out in the world doing stuff, it's constantly up. And then stockpiles healing, you receive up to 40 stacks. Spend stacks, strike elite enemies up to an additional 4 times. You can use that. I don't really even pay attention to it. I just keep it up when I'm clearing. I'm going to come on down here and talk about Iron Hide. This is going to give you unstoppable and block chance. Some of our aspects give us increased bonuses for block chance. We just talked about some of the stuff for unstoppable, and this is going to be up all the time. It's also going to give us resolve, which is going to help us because we use our resolve stacks to get more damage. Armored Hide gives you more maximum resolve, always great. And then increase your block damage reduction. We have pretty decent block, and this gives you 100% block chance for 3 seconds, so it's up non-stop. Going to put 1 point into endurance because it's going to give you some vigor, and then 2 additional damage reduction per stack resolve. And we've got things that give us resolve non-stop. It's great. 2 points into concussive stomp. Never push this button. If you need to, push it, but for the most part, it's just there for filler points. 1 point into patient guard. We don't really use that except for you get the block chance. And then you're going to put 3 points into auspicious. Accumulate life as barrier every second. So it's just free barrier, and we're always getting more barrier. Counterattack, you're going to put this on your bar, and you're never, ever, ever going to push it. The whole thing is we just want 10% dodge chance. That's really it. You can't dodge and block, so we don't really ever activate it. So put it on your bar, just let it go. Cooldown reduced, who cares? Counterattack passes increases your critical strike damage, so whenever something's in your face, you get more critical strike damage. All these that you just see random points in is because of passives on my gear, so don't worry about those. Resilient, each gorilla skill on your bar gain maximum life, so that's why having that there comes in handy. You get some extra life, it's fine. Get better barrier generation, always great. 3 points into brilliance. Eagle skill damage is increased by your movement speed. Insanity, because we get a lot of movement speed. Additional evade charge. After you evade, use a mobility skill, you deal increased damage. Oh hey, we're always evading, so that's going to be non-stop. You're going to put 3 points into potent. Hitting enemies with jaguar skills increases the damage they take by you up to 40%. You'll see why that matters in a minute. Newsflash has something to do with making our skills into jaguar skills. The Seeker, you're just going to be popping this on cooldown. Making enemies vulnerable, which is great. It does really good damage. It procs a lot of your stuff because we get increased damage when we use our ultimate and everything. First hit knocks enemies down. Awesome. Guaranteed to critically strike for the duration of Eagle Spirit. Once you get everything set up, you're basically going to have 100% uptime on this, so you're pretty much going to have 100% crit strike chance. Constantly makes all nearby enemies vulnerable, so you're always going to have vulnerable up, so always extra damage. It's freaking incredible. 3 points into resolution, you get 20% increased damage for 3 seconds to elites, double the bonus if you're fighting one enemy. Great, we were just talking about that. Maximum vigor is increased when you have an ultimate skill equipped. We're just putting 1 point into that to get up here to supremacy. 3 points in here. Kill an enemy while an ultimate skill is active, get a stack of supremacy, it gives you increased damage up to 60%. When it ends, you gain 5 stacks of supremacy, but you start to lose 1 stack per second. You'll be having this up basically 100% of the time. It's incredible. It's a lot of fun. Over here, you're going to put 1 point into sustenance. Hitting enemies with ultimate skills heals you. That's not the big deal. We just want to get intricacy. It's going to make your last potency, defensive, or focus skill reset and be able to be cast 4 times in the next 7 seconds. So basically, you can just hold down your armored hide button and then push the Seeker every time the cooldown is over, and you will have 100% uptime on that and on everything else. It's incredible. Last point here, Vital Strikes, increase damage to vulnerable enemies. Said everything is vulnerable. Heal this, gets vigor, removes the vulnerable effect, but we always have that. All right, caveat before we start talking about the Paragon board. Remember, like I say every time, do not cookie cutter Paragon boards. We're only going to talk about the boards and the glyphs that we're getting in those boards, because you need to fill out your points to fill in gaps in your gear, your resistances, more stats, more health. So, big things, fill in points to do what you need them to do. Secondly, the glyphs and the boards we're using are what's important. So we're going to go for the starter board here. We are using Talon. It gives you increased damage per dex. Obviously, this is amazing. So one of the good things about this, if you look, there's a lot of dex nodes. So if you get everything filled in, this is a good spot to start putting points, because you're going to be getting increased damage all the way around. First board we're going to take is Vicious Sealed. You deal increased damage for each maximum life you have as a barrier, and we have barrier up non-stop, so this is always going to be up and it's multiplicative, so it's going to be awesome. Just make sure you're paying attention to using everything and do your tempers correctly so you're getting as much barrier as you can. On this one, we're using Jagged Plume. This is amazing, gives you some increased movement speed, gives you more damage potency on your storm feathers, which is amazing. Spawning a storm feather gives you increased damage, which is amazing. This one's just really good all the way around. Another thing too, another one that stacks with dexterity. So once you get it leveled up, you can pop dexterity points in there. Always great. Third board we have here, Convergence, bonus damage to all of your damage with physical, fire, lightning, cold, and poison combined, up to 60% total. So this is just going to be insanity. It's going to be good all the time because you get a lot of extra things that give you a little bit of lightning damage here, etc., etc. It's awesome. On this one, we're using Spirit. For every dex, you get increased critical strike damage. Make enemies take increased damage from you when you crit them. It's awesome all the way around. You get a little bit of extra damage from elites for having it leveled up. Again, get dex points, get your more DPS up. Everything else, just make sure you're grabbing the nodes that you need. Down here, we got 2 more boards to talk about. So this one, we're using Colossal, increased damage for each stack of Resolve. You're going to be getting Resolve like crazy. You don't necessarily need to get a lot of strength here, but use enough strength to activate the secondary bonus. It's amazing. This is the Sapping board. When you cast 3 Gorilla, Jaguar, Eagle, Centipede skills with the same spirit in a row, gives you back vigor and gives you damage, which is all the time. Last board we got here is the Drive. After moving 10 meters, you deal increased damage for 10 seconds, can stack up to 10 times. Since we never stop moving and we deal damage while we're on the move, this is incredible. So we're going to use this. It's going to be up all the time. Last glyph here. Canny, every intelligence gives you non-physical damage. We're doing lightning damage with this. It's amazing. Once you activate your bonus here, non-physical damage increases the non-physical damage an enemy takes from you up to 15%. So this is just non-stop. Remember, like I said, fill in your gaps in your gear with the nodes you need here. You know, get resistances, get life, get damage reduction. You can get more damage as you need it after you fill in stuff. Make sure you're reading what the rare nodes do and how you get a little bonus from there. But make sure you're paying attention when you're putting your stuff together to what you need on your build. Anyway, that was a good demonstration. I will go ahead and I guess do a pit just to finish it off here and show you guys how it plays. We'll do like a 60 and we will explode it. But that's the guide. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and look out for more videos and guides. I'll be trying to do this more. Just had a really incredibly busy job and it has been driving me absolutely bonkers. But for the sake of being thorough, I will just do a 60 real quick, which is going to be an absolute joke. Now, one of the things too, make sure before you press your ultimate skill that the button prior to that is your armor hide so you can keep it up. So when you start out, you're going to press Ravager, then armor hide, then pop your ultimate, and then just evade like non-stop. As you're doing this, when you're coming up on enemies, just pop your ultimate again to get your damage multipliers. And this is the whole gameplay loop. As you can tell, the duration of my Ravager is increasing while I'm killing the mobs, because every time you kill a mob, it increases the duration by an amount. So as long as you continue moving and you're always fighting, you will very rarely have to push that button. If you do have to push that button, make sure that you push it and then Gorilla Hide before you push your ultimate again. Because if not, you are not going to be able to have 100% uptime on your Gorilla Hide, which is going to make it a little harder to do everything. So we are also going to talk about the gear after this rift, because I may or may not have forgotten about it. So we're going to continue doing this right here, and then I will show you the gear. I apologize for that inconvenience. There will be timestamps in the description, so you will be able to find that if you are looking for it. As you can see there, I have my buttons out of order, so now my Ravager is the highlighted skill, which honestly doesn't really matter at this point, but so we're going to run in, boss is going to spawn, boom, done. All right. So I don't miss it, go ahead and talk about the gear. So I will link a planner down in the description, but this is not all the way optimal, but as you're building towards it, as you're getting chaos armors that are going to give you things, you can just fill them in. So Boucher Nakpa is a weapon that you can get. So this is giving you extra damage on your Spirit Hall bonus. So every time you use your ultimate, the Seeker, this is increasing your damage significantly. So this is amazing. Before you get the helmet, you can get the weapon. Super easy to get. All of the gear you need for this before you get optimized is going to drop off Guagar and Lord's Ear, so just go farm them. This is kind of ideally the setup you want. As you can see, I don't even have GAs everywhere, so you want the weapon augment in your hat, Shroud of False Death if you have one. If not, just any chaos armor that'll give you a multiplier. Fists of Fate is great. If you can get the necklace that increases your damage of your Arrow Storm, that's great. Just anything that's going to give you a multiplier here. Paingorger's Gauntlets. Godslayer's Crown's good. Just anything that's going to help you out if you don't have the Shroud of False Death. Loyalty's Mantle. This is a helmet piece. So you can put your helmet here. So you can put Loyalty's Mantle on here. Use whatever gloves you have. Use the Wuxi neck paw as your weapon until you kind of get everything where you need it. It makes your Spirit Hall damages more. So you just get 100% more damage on the feathers that you shoot when you dash, which is amazing. You always just want a pair of legendary pants because you need to have tenacity because it's giving you extra resolve. And when we talk about the ring in a second, you'll see why. Having the resolve gives you more damage, gives you more damage reduction. It's just an incredible item to have. So make sure you do not replace your pants with the other things. Do not put chaos armor in your pants. All right. Boots. You want boots with maximum evade charge because this is going to be great. You're going to be trying to get evade cooldown here and on your necklace. You need to get enough evade cooldown where it kind of stays reset because you're going to be getting increased things and extra damage off of that. If you don't have enough, what you'll do is you'll evade and then thunder spike and evade and then thunder spike because it's going to give you back increased. So every third attack is going to reduce your evade cooldown. So it's going to give you back your stacks. That's called evade weaving, and you'll do that up until you can do it full time. Your weapon here, you're using redirected force. It's giving you critical strike damage equal to your block chance. Well, since we always have armor hide up and it's always 100% block chance, we're just getting free damage there. It's amazing. On your neck, unyielding hits. Guerrilla skills increase your weapon damage by a percentage of your armor. So since we always have armored hide up for guerrilla skills, that's always going to be up. So it's just going to give you a flat increase in your weapon skill damage. So check it out. You hit that and your attack power goes up substantially. It made my attack power go up to 800 and some thousand, which is insane. Then you are going to put Vehement Brawlers on your ring, which is going to give you more damage after you cast your ultimate skill. We're always using our ultimate, so it's amazing. Band of the First Breath. This is what I was telling you about. When you evade, it consumes resolve and gives you extra damage for 5 seconds. So you're going to be doing that all the time. So that's always going to be up. It's going to be incredible. So if you have them, you want to use Sim and Cax because this is just going to, every time you use your ultimate skill, is going to give you extra damage for 1 second, which is amazing. You want Back in K because it's always going to be giving you extra bulwark. Back is really hard to get, so anything that's just going to generate a good amount for you, go ahead and grab that. It's always going to be paramount to keep that up as much as you can. As far as tempers on the gear, barrier generation and total armor where you can get it because that's amazing. On your boots, you want to get barrier generation and evade cooldown because evade cooldown is very important. You need to get like 40-some% to be able to do it with your powers and keep it up 100% of the time. It's 59% without the powers. So make sure you get as much evade cooldown as you can. On your weapon, you don't want Thunder Spike deals double damage. What you would like to have there is the damage increased by your Spirit Hall. So that was a brick, but that's what I had. Tried to re-roll it. And then Storm Feather Potency just makes your Storm Feathers hit harder. On your necklace, you are going to be getting as much armor as you can. As you can see, I rolled total armor and put the armor FX on there, and then you get your evade cooldown, so you have everything that you need. It's very important that you get a lot of armor because when you use your Guerrilla skill, it's going to give you increased damage. On your ring, Storm Feather Potency, huge to have, and then the Seeker charges. That's why I have 12 ranks of the Seeker. This is always going to make sure you always have it up. Very rarely do I finish a run and not have it up. Used to run out until I got that temper, but once I got that temper, it's never been anything. So that's the gear. You go over to your Chaos perks. You want to use a Beast Cornered. It's going to be basically just giving you free damage all the time because you're at 50% rate. So it's amazing. You're always going to be doing well. Going to be using Marred Guard, increased maximum resistances. Now the key to a Beast Corner to being good is Marred Guard keeps you at 50% life. Also gives you some more armor and increased elemental resistances, and you also get more barrier generation. So as you can see, just chilling, I have 16,000 barrier without doing anything. That goes up, right? So that's what you have there. It's amazing. Alacrity. So the reason we have this is because it procs your Thunder Spike's cooldown reduction on your evade every second hit instead of every third hit. We don't really care about the basic attack speed because we're never actually using it. And Accelerating Chaos has a chance to blow up. The big thing there, just random cooldown reduction. It's just better than anything we have for anything else there. You're going to use right here. You're going to go down the left side, just get left everything, shield charge, extra armor, taunts, give you some damage reduction, and then you deal more damage to enemies that are taunted by them. And then you're going to use Adelkin, Faith of Languish, slows enemies and reduces their damage dealt. And you're just going to have that set for whenever he uses it. So that's the gear, that's stats, that's everything. Eagle in your spirit hall. And that's all you really need. It's really easy to get started. You don't need a lot of gear. The playstyle is a little clunky when you're rolling out before you get able to completely do it. But that is the Evade Spiritborn, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you want to see next.